the next thing we want to hear now is, okay, as a result of this conversation, the price of tomatoes has crashed.
No. I think we're although, yeah, sometimes when you go to the market, they will tell you this is crashed and that is crashed. But usually people, especially those who sell, the off-takers, usually like to hang on to the high price of stuff. Even if we say there's more in the market now, the price doesn't usually go down as much as you want to, because everybody wants to make as much profit as possible. So I wonder if part of these policies that we're talking about, part of these supervisory, methods, should see that the markets actually reduce prices as they ought to be, like not just hang on. For instance, now when you see some of these Muslim festivals and the prices of ram and all that, of course it goes up because of the festivities. It's understandable. But if you go and buy in the north, it's not as much as you buy it in Lagos. And I was having a conversation with someone involved in that process, a family member, that said that some people say they rather take their rams and cows to go and sell in Lagos because they can sell it for a higher price than if they sell it where those animals are being reared.
Perhaps the issue there that I want to believe that particularly farmers, because when we talk about farmers, our head is talking about the hoe and cutlass guy,
yes.
And now even the mechanized guy, food crops and all those things. The poultry owner is a farmer. The piggery owner is a farmer, and so maybe if we understand it that way. But that raises questions about the logistics of moving stuff from place to place. It's the problem that has been there for a very long time. I'm hoping that our next guest, who is a farmer, will be able to discuss some of these issues. Jerry Toby Olarewaju also joins us in our Abuja studio. He's a farmer and agribusiness strategist. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Farmer. Strategist.
Mr. Morning. Yes. You heard the minister, for instance, talk about some of those things. How do you respond to some of the issues that the minister spoke to?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning, Nigerians, and happy weekend. Great to meet you, sir, again. So for me, I think we need to actually understand that, as you said, which is very important at the end of the day, that communication of all these programs, all these supports that the government is doing is actually very, very important. Young people like us are actually very interested into coming into the space. We want to come and do business in agriculture. We want to have the enabling environments to actually run our businesses. We want to actually have that support from government by creating, access to finance support, the market support. I believe that, yes, the minister said, the government is doing its own capacity to support in the mechanization space and this thing. But beyond just announcement of programs, I think one thing the government should start looking at is actually actionalizing it. Government has launched a number of things this year. I can count a number of programs the government has launched, and I can tell you we want reactions. Yes, I'm seeing some of them. The government, I can attest to few of them. One of the mechanization program was actually launched by the president. Actually, it's one of his key points where he mentioned about he's going to actually clear over 500,000 hectares of land. The question is, how many hectares of land has actually been cleared as we speak right now? The tractors that were launched, has it moved? Has anybody benefited in it? And yes, we can say government is actually a step-by-step this thing, but we actually need to understand that the citizens are not patient. People are hungry, yes, and people want to start seeing reality of what is happening now. And I believe that as we see what the government is planning to do, the government is saying, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, working on this. We have had over 2-3 years now, and in this third year, we'll be talking about elections. So beyond just having actionable announcements, we want to start seeing actions. We want to start seeing the distribution of tractors. We want to start seeing that tractor working. We want to start seeing those silos working. We want to start seeing, especially financing. We have heard about the BOA receiving money. We have 1.2 billion from Afrexim. We have heard about recapitalization. Has anybody able to access any fund? So it's actually a question we should actually ask the government. And
it's one of the issues that I always. It's one of the issues that I always raise, because while wonderful work is being done by the various governments, federal, state, and all, if people do not know that these wonderful things are happening, it raises a question about whether or not they are even happening. But speak to us from your own experience. The issue Joke and I here were discussing before you came on is that people would rather take produce, their farm produce, from wherever they are to economically, viable areas like Lagos, like Abuja, like maybe even Port Harcourt, because they will sell it for higher prices than if they stayed where they were. Can you speak to that? Because in a way, that definitely affects the prices of food. And it makes it difficult for people to say whatever government initiative is coming up with is working, because food prices are not coming down as perhaps even the federal government or state governments themselves expect them to.
Yeah, okay, so I lost you in a while, but if I get the question, you want to understand the issue of logistics, the issue around the other metrics. So for me, one of the things, as I was giving a thought to people before I come into the studio, was that I produce rice. I'm a Demo Food and Spices. We produce rice, and when we produce rice, we want to take our rice factories in Nasarawa State. We want to move our rice to Lagos. The cost of logistics is actually one of the things that causes the high cost of rice before it gets to Lagos. The different prices of local government levies on the road, the cost of around people collecting when you get to Lagos, before you can get to Lagos, a number of payment has been made, so increase the cost of the goods. Even to our small spices and everything we actually do, it actually increases the cost. And for me, I think
so. It raises the question. My apologies. I sincerely apologize, Mr. Olanwaju. Why Lagos? Why not Abuja? Why not states nearby? Because if you intend to move it to Lagos, as you said, it is natural that the prices are going to increase. So why Lagos? Why not other areas where they also need this produce? Perhaps another way of answering that, asking the same question would be, do you think an off-taker arrangement with a state government would help? So the burden of logistics is not on the farmer, but on off-takers.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very good one. If the state government are actually very interested, we are just having very few state government that are actually very interested in agriculture. Yes, a number of them have actually started taking action. See Lagos, through their Lagos Food Up, and actually, which I'm indeed happy, if the Lagos State Food Up can actually take off the off-taker agreement with different production sites. Like if you come to partner with the Nasarawa State government, or partner with the Nasarawa State businesses and say, okay, every rice you produce here, I'm going to take it, go to Kebbi. Every rice you produce here, I'm going to take it, and forget the logistics. How we manage the logistics to actually be able to give my citizen the price, my state residents the price of rice, even at cost of the factory cost. So it's actually very important for state government to actually look at that, to actually reduce the cost of food production, food costs to the citizen of this state. So it's a very, very amazing initiative. And I think I see someone like Abuja, I've been asking this question. I've not seen any definite plan on agriculture for Abuja. Abuja, yes, there's infrastructure going on. There's amazing road network, lights, street lights. But the cost of food is actually very important also for people residents in Abuja.
Okay.
We have people in Port Harcourt. Yes, they don't have the land mass to actually produce enough crop products there. Can the state government actually create a plan and say, to reduce the cost of food in Port Harcourt, can I have an off-taker agreement with my neighboring state, Ebonyi State? Ebonyi is actually one of the biggest rice producing listing with Anambra State. Can I have a partnership with them and say, every rice produced by there in the Coast Charis and every other small mills that actually have the off-take it and actually make it's cheaper for my citizens. So I think it's actually very, very important for state government to actually take up initiative. And these things are not no-brainer. It's not a rocket science. Create an initiative. Partner with these guys, buy from them, sell to them. It's a business for the government. It's even more income generating revenue.
You have understated the importance of the hand-in-hand initiative of the World Food Day 2025. Well, we definitely will keep tabs with you and others like you in this field, because food security is the number one security. Because even if you have to flee and you are you don't have enough energy, you can't flee. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Jerry Toby Olarewaju is an agribusiness strategist and farmer. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Now, one of the things we have heard is that food, it should be your medicine, and medicine should be your food. We understand that's something said by Socrates. But then we now have medicine. That is part of our conversation next.